Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. Now, KALONZO has revisited this issue of Adani.
Very clear. We simply called this whole thing about Shah, she, Shif a scam. It's very, very painful to see the suffering of our people because people are collecting money, a cartel. Right? Remember this Shah thing was part of the Adani deals, right? It was a part of the, it was really was part of Adani deals along with JK Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which of course we stopped in court on his tracks until William Ruto had to withdraw it in Parliament. So it's part of it. That's come.
Remember, Kenyans exposed the deal between Adani and Shah a couple of months ago. That was last year. That is the time this story of Adani took center stage here in Kenya, and the government constantly denied involvement of Adani in the Shah system.
The Auditor General herself has said
2.5% is going into the pockets of individuals.
But the biggest question that was being asked is how comes the system was worth around 104 billion? What was so expensive about this system?
I was reading that report and I feel like I want to leave this country and just go somewhere else. You know, they procured a system and procedurally. They procured a system for 104 billion. And when you think of what it is that they are calling a system, because hakuna kitu imechange, by the way, it's just something, a system, 104 billion. I don't think people understand what 104 billion is. No. That's what they used to procure the system.
Not continue using a system that is clearly a proceed of crime. It appears that the only people for whom Shah is working are the ones who are getting these commissions, the 2.5% from my monthly contribution. You have told us that they have to be paid on a daily basis. And yet the facilities themselves do not get similar treatment when they ask for reimbursement for their claims, Madam Koweji. So can we, with finality, say something? Can we take drastic action? Because some of us do not mind being a bit rash if we are going to do something that is in the best interest of the country. Can we agree before this committee that we want to terminate that contract? And what are going to be the consequences? Because you can't continue to allow people to enjoy proceeds of crime. Let's just declare this Shah and Shif a criminal enterprise, and we'll close it to date.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Shah has always been accused by Kenyans that it is a platform that simply collects money from the people, but then there are people who pretend to have been financed, who have deployed the system, who benefit from the payments. Meaning, if you pay 100 shillings, maybe 20 shillings goes to them. 80 shilling is remitted to the Shah accounts for a medical cover. So they get money from each and every payment done by each and every Kenyan citizen. So I'd like us to go into this story from KALONZO, ladies and gentlemen. But first and foremost, allow me to kindly request you to support the work we do on this channel by liking this video and subscribing to our channel if you're not subscribed before. But to our existing subscribers, I want to continue thanking you so much, because without you, this channel cannot grow. Now, if you look at Shah, most Kenyans consider Shah as a failed project. They think that Shah has already failed, especially because of the number of times the system fails, inability of Shah to pay these insurance covers in time, and the fact that, according to some audit, it was discovered that there are people who benefit behind the scenes.
And I also give a conclusion. And I said these matters have affected internal controls, or internal controls are not being followed. The governance structure has problems. There is no risk management, and hence then we have all these issues happening under effectiveness and under the opinion matters fiscal. So my report is very clear on that I have already pronounced myself on the issues that were not lawful
So either way, Kenya itagaramika sana kwa SHA system. I remember when this issue of SHA started, the debate started on the SHA budget, the 104 billion. Gladys Bosholoi was the first person who was also shocked. She was shocked because it was a total secret to her also. She never knew, based on her reaction and body language, she did not know that actually that was the point, because I saw her arguing on that live media coverage. It was an interview, and being the deputy speaker in the Senate, in the National Assembly, she ought to have known certain details, but looks like these details were hidden. That's why you find that after that day, Gladys Bosholoi has not been speaking about SHA, kwa sababu looks like she discovered that there are so many secrets happening. Kumbe most of the things that Kenyans are talking about, who complain, kujalamika, mambo mengi, maybe these things are true, but the biggest question was who has been linking them. You know, when this issue of SHA and JKIA surfaced, it was during the Gen Z's demonstration. Ilikuja tu kama mtani. People were demonstrating about the finance bill, and then all of a sudden there was a JKIA takeover. So it's as if this thing was going to take place wakati wa demonstration, because the agreement and the like was going to take place thanks to Amenya, who shared some details, some documents, which Kenyans grabbed and scrutinized and realized that this is the best thing for Kenya. According to them, according to the people who complained, and so many people complained, is that this was going to benefit a few. And that is exactly what is happening. Maybe the biggest problem with SHA right now ni kwamba pesa nyingi zinaenda kwa provider, but the people who offer easy health services are not getting money. That's why you find that RUFA, saizi RUFA ime stop SHA katika facilities zao. Waja RUFA is a body that is a grouping of so many rural and urban facilities, many of them. So if they stop SHA usage in their facilities, unajua hapo inaumiza kabisa hospitali zote. So they made their stand known kwamba until the government pays NHIF, until the government pays SHA. But you see, the government came out and said, hii mambo ya NHIF until you do verification, 10 million plus lazima to verify. So that aspect of verify bills, how do you verify a bill ambayo ya insurance ya maybe last year but one ishafanyika, mtu alishatibiwa? So how do you want to verify? Do you want to make calls one by one to those patients? You see, there are some things which I think the government must look at very carefully. So how are we going to verify? Kupigia wale watu calls moja moja, how many people? Like for instance, a facility that sees around 200 or 300 patients a day. In a month they see 6,000. Are you going to call the 6,000 people? So it's a delaying kind of tactic, and that's why RUFA wameona kwamba hawa wanatuchezea until you verify. You might verify for 5 years, you're still verifying, you know. So Kalonzo has reminded us about SHA. So what do you think about the statement coming from Kalonzo Musyoka? You know, SHA ni scam according to him. But this is what people are saying also, that it is scam.
The system that we're using for SHA, yes, and SHIF, and you said NHIF was working. Yes. NHIF had a record about 13 million users. Yes. When the system was audited, they came down to about 9 million. They got rid of those hospitals, those fake individual profiles that were being used to siphon the money. And then they went back to 9 million, and now they're back to about 14 million with new subscribers in about 2 months. My question is, how else would we have done this audit without coming in with a new system, using an old system that was infiltrated, that was not working? How was that going to happen? Just briefly, then I go to Senator.
Ken Mijungu, what are you saying? Do you need a system that costs 110 billion to run anything? Unless you're organizing to fly an aeroplane to the moon. Do you need a system which you are going to pay a company to do for you, transfer of data from one place to another, to identify who you are, to give even GPS technology on where the health facilities are, to know which doctors are even serving you as a client, and to even have a state-of-the-art representation of everybody, knowing in that health sector what your challenges are and what the remedies could be? Do you need to spend 110 billion shillings
for all that? Okay, a good question that I put to the PS Medical Services, and the answer I got was the 104 billion shillings was not just for the system, but every other thing that is related to the system. I guess it's a big.
Let me ask you, even if it was for everything else, including giving medicines for dead people and keeping the mortuaries which are running, 110 billion shillings a year is a hell lot of money.
So perhaps if you're watching this video and you've not subscribed, take 1 second and subscribe, like this video. Till you catch up again, stay safe and stay blessed.